What's up, guys? Welcome, Lauren Pritchard, doing the stream. You can kind of already tell what tribulation is going to look like based on the demonic people around you. Maybe you're not seeing it as much as I am, but I'm seeing nature being revealed in people so profoundly, so much and so fast. It's kind of like, yeah, we're in the final days. At least we're at the end of something. We're at the end of some type of reality. It's a ton of alchemical transformation happening, like love and relationships, and also people. It's like getting harder for people to conceal their true nature. People are getting very predatory towards Christians. What's up, Brandon? And I mean real Christians. It's easy to say you're Christian. It's really hard to actually be Christian, but it's not actually hard because it's all about love. And it's in the heart. It's in the humbleness. It's in the pridelessness. Pride aside, recognize yourself as a sinner in need of salvation, and you are a sinner. And if you don't think you are, you have to learn yourself to be a sinner. Lust is the biggest one that's alchemically being transformed right now. It's going through the Holy Spirit. The spirit of lust. The spirit of lust is sort of like a weapon that is used by the spirit of love to paint a contrast. So you can look around and be really mad about, the lustful nature of the world. It's a tool to paint a contrast very starkly to love. So it's not to be mad about all the evil in the world, but to recognize it as a tool God's using to paint a contrast. Like, it's so big and it's so bad right now. Like, people are getting so far worse because it's painting a contrast. The fake nature of people, fakeness, cults, ton of cults, cult-like behavior. You'll go to hell with your cult. Cults will go to tribulation. So I say hell. I never claimed to know what hell is, but I think this place quickly turns into hell. Any moment after the rapture occurs, tribulation begins. That's hell. You are now living in hell. So hell is going to be what this world turns into. So people will go to hell with their cults. Their parasocial relationships, putting other idols before Christ, before love. So you can already kind of see what tribulation is going to look like based on the behavior of people around you. I have a dream to share. And then I'm going to give some examples of the end times with the Antichrist. The whole world's going to say, "Hail Satan." I'm going to give examples from some James Casbolt videos, bases. You can't really search James Casbolt anymore, but there's an account, Tinfoil Man, and there's a playlist, Super Soldier, and you can see them all on YouTube. I didn't check BitChute, I meant to, but just because we're on YouTube, Tinfoil Man, and then go to his playlist, Super Soldiers, for James Casbolt's material, all about the end times. Mentions the rapture in one, but doesn't use the word rapture. Doesn't use the Christian words that we use. Okay. So weird. A couple days ago, actually, let me read your comments. Brandon saying hi. We are all sinners, yeah. But it's just sex, right? No, it's not just sex. It's lust, and you'll go to hell for it. You repent from the spirit of lust, and Jesus says, "It's okay, I forgive you. Now I'm going to help you. Now I'm going to work with you, like, to get out of it." It's not just to blab the words and not truly be humbled about the sin nature and keep on sinning. Because if you're stuck in lust, you're never going to get love. God's not going to bless you with love if you're stuck in lust. They are two opposite forces. There's like two types of females in the world. There's the females with lust and then females with love. And obviously the females with lust usually want to appear as if they're the ones with love. Women don't have a dual nature. Men have a dual nature. So this is the moment in Revelation where it's 17:8. The beast that was and is no longer. The little beasts, men, have a dual nature. Right before Judgment Day, men will have to choose heaven or hell. They will have to choose God or Satan. They will have to choose the mother or the whore. Do you serve the mother or do you serve the whore? The whore wants to appear as if she is the mother. The whore wants to appear as if she is good, as if she is righteous, as if she is nurturing, as if she is loving. But she is none of those things. This is all fake. This is all phony. And it's very cult-like. It's an impostor spirit I'm hearing. It's an impostor. The whore is an impostor of the mother. And it's connected with lust. So you got a problem with lust? Look at the women you surround yourself with. Friends, family, acquaintances even, coworkers even. Look at the women you're surrounding yourself with, associating yourself with. Look at the women whose bullshit you're entertaining. You're entertaining their bullshit, giving them energy, connecting, and then you have problems with lust. Repent to Jesus Christ to help. Give you the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Because men are way too nice to women because they think that women are all helpless, but women are extremely manipulative, especially in this hour. The lustful nature is really bad, and the choice between heaven and hell, the choice between the little beasts of the world, which is like the biblical term for men with a dual nature. You know, it's men have a mercurial nature. They're both Cain and Abel. They're both Michael and Lucifer. Like, they have to choose. You have to choose which man you want to be. You have to choose which female archetype you're going to admire. Are you going to admire the witch? Or are you going to admire the mother? Are you going to nurture the witch in the cults, in the money, in the lust? Or are you going to nurture the mother with the families, with the sustainability? That's how the dual nature of men, they choose heaven or hell. And of course, God is a part of it all because God is love. Jesus Christ, King of love. The AI is hell. Yeah, the AI is going to take over. Thank God. We won't be here. The rapture will already have happened. I mean, I think I'm going to be here because I want to be here. But the Christians will, the true Christian church will not be here. They will have been raptured. Tribulation begins. The AI is going to take over. It's going to create hell on earth. God said, I prepared a place for you. That's outer space. There's a war in space. Space is being emptied out of, heaven is being emptied out of all the demons through space warfare. The demons get sent here to this reality. This reality fills up with more hell-like energy. And then the Christians leave to go to heaven or space. And it's free of all this AI. AI comes and destroys this whole place. All the darkness comes here, it destroys this whole place. This place is emptied out, turns into hell. Brandon's been writing down his dreams every night. Gridkeeper has them. Oh, I don't think I'm following Gridkeeper. I think this is a new account or like a new old account, and I don't think I was following Gridkeeper. I think I talked to him on Facebook though, because Gridkeeper. Oh no, Gridkeeper is Tim Riffat, right? I talked to Duncan Davis. Is that his name on Facebook? For some reason I get the two confused. They used to work together, I think. Yeah, heaven, thank you. Teresa Llaneros tried to seduce me. Yeah, Teresa Llaneros, when I met her, she has a dominating spirit, and we were becoming like quick friends and going to, make some plans for like material content, whatever. And then she said, let me know if you need anything. Like, I want to help you. And I was like, taken back, like, that's weird. Why would she say that? I want to help you? I was like, I don't know. It's like an overinflated sense of superiority that women have. And it's very strange when they like assert their dominance over other women, when it's like, it's an impostor spirit. And so the impostor female, it's funny because like it might be hard for men to see who the impostor females are, but as a female who's the real deal, those women lift a leg and pee on you as soon as you interact with them. So like it might be harder for men to see it, but if you look at the way impostor females treat the females with love, they lift a leg and they assert dominance right away. And it's usually in the form of something like, oh, well, let me know if you need anything. I want to help you. They put you in like a lesser than position. They start giving you advice when you're like, shut the fuck up. I don't take advice from females. I take advice from God. Right? They start telling you what to do. They start like, I don't know. And it always appears super nice. This is why it's important to pray to God and repent and get discernment, because as a female, I can obviously see it because of the way they treat me. Immediately lift a leg and pee on me, which is why I cannot work for the general public anymore. Like, cannot do hair. I can't keep working. I can't, because there's too many females that come in and they just immediately assert dominance. It's very strange. Like, I'll continue to do hair. Like, I'm not taking new clients, but I'll continue to do hair for my clients that don't do that, right? Like my friends, my sisters in Christ. I don't care if I'm not making a lot of money. It doesn't matter. I cannot accept the general public anymore. And simultaneously, while I'm doing this, while I am, creating this boundary in my life, simultaneously, alchemically, the spirit of lust is like rampantly painting a contrast. Like, God's really knocking at the door right now for men to either rid themselves of the pornography addiction, rid themselves of the cult, of these other types of women. God's really, really working on this alchemical transformation right now. And it's biblical. It's Revelation 17:8. Because the beast throws off the whore. So the beast is the men with dual nature, the Michael, the Lucifer, the Cain, the Abel, right? Men get to choose heaven or hell, right? They got to choose. They got to make a choice before Judgment Day. Because then once Judgment Day comes, it's over. They'll be stuck in hell, tribulation, if they stayed in the lust. And then, like that begins tribulation, and then the arrival of the Antichrist, who I actually think is James Casbolt, to be honest. I mean, who cares? Like, I don't think the Antichrist is going to be someone that doesn't know exactly what they're doing. I don't think he's going to be like an idiot. You see, because the perfect angel of the world, this is the beast nature in men. Men want to be the perfect angel of the world. So if you are trying to be like Lucifer, like the perfect angel of the world, you're going to think all women are nice and all women are your friends and all women are just, they need help, they need attention, they need praise. They're so wonderful, they're so nice, they're so loving, they give me food, they invite me to parties, they make life fun with the monkeys and the circuses, with the bread and circuses, right? They entertain stimulating conversations, but they're just a bunch of monkeys banging cymbals together. The perfect angel of the world is going to view, if you're in that Lucifer, stuck in that Lucifer nature, you're the perfect angel of the world. They can't see it, right? It's near impossible for them to see it, even in their pride, right? They're too prideful. They don't, because then they begin to transform, right? Because then they will no longer be the perfect angel of the world when they start to transform, renewing of the mind, outstretched by new information, that something is not right here, right? There's something not right with most women. The whores, the harlots, there's something not right with the material nature of the world, right? They don't want to see it initially. The ego begins to die, and then the ego fights to hang on, and that's why men act out the way they do right now, is because their ego is dying. Because God is making them choose heaven or hell. So, women don't have like an ego death. A woman's ego death is just she's getting so fucking crazy she can't contain herself. It's just the nasty nature just comes out. She can't hide it anymore. That's the ego death of a woman. And then, God's daughters with love, Christ, sisters in Christ, they're just like, just straight chilling. Like, just straight chilling, right? Here to help. We're good. So, yeah, it's biblical. It's Revelation 17:8. So the perfect angel of the world, the Antichrist, I think is going to be somebody that is not a dummy, that knows exactly what they're doing, and I don't think they're all evil. Because the Lucifer men, being the perfect angels of the world, are doing nothing but causing chaos and harm. Right? Like the song The Cave by Mumford Sons. It's like from the brother to brother. It's like, now come out of that cave walking on your hands and see the world is hanging upside down. Right? This is like the ego death of the little beasts, 333, perfect angels of the world. The world's not a good place. Right? The ego's dying with the dying world around them. There's an alchemical transformation happening. Lust is at an all-time high, painting a contrast to love. Lust is like the weapon of love. Aphrodite was a goddess who judges love. Like, love is something that needs to be judged. If you commit crimes in love, it is a crime needing to be judged. So her weapon is lust. And it's going to get really bad so that people boomerang back. Men boomerang back to love, not lust. Through a renewing of the mind, an alchemical transformation of the heart, and that is happening now. So the Antichrist, if it is James Casbolt, he won't be a dummy. He doesn't like the ways of the world, right? James Casbolt does not like most women. Like, no man I've ever heard before in other material, right? Not in his earlier days, but, after his divorce with Haley, and I think it was Bases in Court, he starts saying, like all these women come around me and they act so loving and nurturing, like, oh, I want to help you. And he's like, and I see right through it. He's like, no, like, I'm doing God's will. And if God's will is to kill people, I'm going to keep killing people, right? Because he was an assassin for MI5, MI6. To maintain a type of order, a type of law and order. He had over 200 confirmed kills. And then, yeah, these women would come around him and say, oh, stop, settle down. I want to help you. And he's like, get away from me. Like, he could see right through the BS. He wasn't as animated as I am, and he wasn't calling it God's will. So that is super rare, right? So this is a man who I think is the Antichrist, who will be the Antichrist, who knows the wicked ways of the world and doesn't like them, and doesn't like dark women, right? Like no other man I've ever met in my entire life, I've ever heard, because see, when a lot of men say it, I feel like they sound bitter because they married some woman who ruined their life. It wasn't anything like that. I mean, Haley, I guess, kind of, but I don't think Michael ever truly saw it that way. So I think the Antichrist is going to come, and he's not going to be a dummy. It's going to be a man who does not like the world, who knows the wicked ways of the world. This would be like the spirit of who Jesus Christ's father was. So it would be a non-terrestrial man, probably, right? The spirit of Julius Caesar. I was just listening to a sermon today. There's and I've been saying this for years, there's historical evidence that while Julius Caesar was alive, he brought a type of order amongst all the other kings and queens of the world, just by being alive, just by being here, just by being terrestrial. He brought a type of order to the world. So when this figure dies, this is like Osiris, the story of Isis and Osiris. This is ancient Egypt's version. It's the same spirits over and over and over again. Just the story is just repeated. And it's like this alchemical transformation of all of us here and now, right? The things that, the ways the Holy Spirit is working on people is the same way for all people with the Holy Spirit. So that's why Energy Update is an accurate form of the news, because there's an alchemical transformation happening on this planet. That is the timeline, right? We are time, right? We are reality. We're reality. We are time. And then the time ends, right? It's the rapture of the church. The church is removed. I think it's crazy people think that there is no pre-tribulation rapture. Of course there is. That's insane. And if there wasn't a pre-tribulation rapture, then it would be something to where you are absolutely invisible to all the demons and aliens and crazy shit going on. You'll just be invisible. But if you were invisible to them, so I've had dreams where I'm literally invisible, the aliens can't see me. I'm invisible to them because they only see a frequency that is like them, right? People that are dark, people that are full of sin, the unrepentant, right? The ungrateful, the unrepentant, the nasty, the judgmental, the egomaniacs. They're on a frequency with these dark entity aliens. And then when the aliens are running around, they can't see us. But there has to be a pre-tribulation rapture because they can't. We are sealed and protected with the mark of Christ. So we're not going to endure the hardships that the lukewarm Christians will have to endure. Yeah, Teresa's cool. Yep, Beauty and the Beast. That's a true story. Happening now. The beast that was and is no longer. Beauty and the Beast by Disney is the literal depiction of Revelation 17:8. He comes up just to go to his destruction. right? This is an alchemical transformation. Judgment comes for men. And are you going to be a beast, take the mark of the beast, or are you going to transform back into the prince with the beauty? Not the old witch, but the beauty. Not the old witch wearing the beauty's clothes. That's the Little Mermaid. The Disney movie The Little Mermaid, it depicts how women are so sneaky. Ursula stole Little Mermaid's skin. She literally put on her skin. She stole her voice. And she walked around hypnotizing men in order to marry Eric. But then judgment comes, right? All the birds and the sea and all the animals and every force that come in Little Mermaid comes without a voice, right? Without a tail. She had legs. Or one or the other, I don't know. And they beat the crap out of the wedding. They're like, no fucking way, you're not gonna marry. Like, no way you're gonna marry the Ursula witch, that's not her. And Eric's all hypnotized. These are true stories. These are true biblical stories. Like how the Bible warns you about women. You have to pray for discernment. You have to deny your flesh. Deny your flesh long enough to see the true nature of the woman you are sleeping next to. Deny your flesh long enough to stay away from that fucking cult that you're in, to see the true nature of the cult. If you're in a cult and you deny the flesh and you go into a bit of isolation for a minute, you know, be by yourself alone with God, you might find you're in a cult. You might find these people are not good for you. You might find that they're a little weird, right? They're a little obsessive. They're a little not right. Because social cults, worldly cults, go to hell. What's hell? It's what this place is about to turn into. And you don't have to experience that when you repent to Jesus Christ. When you give your life to God through Jesus Christ, you don't have to experience that. You don't have to be confused anymore. Satan is the Lord of confusion. People are very confusing if you don't have the discernment of Christ. And you can get it by simply asking. Oh, Grid Keeper is Duncan. Tim is Tim. Good to know. Danielle says, hi, Lilith. Yeah, it's true about impostor females. But it's crazy how obvious they are. And it's crazy how, without any type of intervention, how men can't see it. What type of haircut would you give me? Probably just a basic one. Actually, Brandon, don't you wear yours like longer on top? Right? But they give me food. Quit being a dumb fuck. Right? Beelzebub, the spirit of gluttony. The spirit of gluttony, that's a demon. Beelzebub, rebuke Beelzebub. Did they teach you that in the Quran? Don't think so. Because the Quran is a 180 of the Bible. Muslims were not taught the tools of protection. But they're not the only one. Most people are not taught the tools of protection. The Bible warns you about women. It warns you about Beelzebub, right? Spirit of gluttony. The sins, sin nature, atonement for sin. And the scriptures that express atonement for sin, it's not the right way. I mean, but to be politically correct, like, shoot, we'll find out, right? We'll find out. Because Moses said, one more is going to come in my name, and you are to listen to him. Then Jesus Christ came, and he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody gets to the Father but through me. So if you're trying to go to God without Jesus, you're getting Satan posing as God. You're not getting true discernment. And then Muhammad comes 600 years later and, writes a nice little book and calls it, and starts a religion. But Moses said, only one more is going to come in my name, and you are to listen to him. Christ said, many more are going to come in my name, but they will not be the Christ. There, we're all up to speed from the Old Testament to after the Quran. Boom. Troy was about Paris rejecting Aphrodite. Well, Helen would have been the human embodiment of Aphrodite. So history gets so convoluted because some people will say Aphrodite is the spirit of lust, just like some people say that Ishtar and Isis are the same spirit. They're not. Ishtar is the impostor spirit of the mother, but they say she's the mother. So, history gets so convoluted because if there is somewhere saying that Troy was about Paris rejecting Aphrodite, perhaps in the context, the people were referencing Aphrodite as, the witch of lust, the spirit of lust. When in fact, Helen was the human embodiment of Aphrodite, beauty incarnate, love incarnate, and he rescued her from Sparta. Right? So the story repeats. The rapture is the rescue of the church, the bride of Christ. Sometimes Satan comes as a man of peace. Yes, the Antichrist is going to come as a man of peace, but it will be a false peace. What's up, need to fish? Yeah, difficult. Pukli P. Popowitz. So, it's been a half hour. I don't even know if I told you guys this yet. I feel like it was just like me and Brandon chatting for the last 10 minutes. But, yes, this video is about, you can already kind of see what the tribulation is going to look like based on the general behavior of the public, of people around you, right? There's an increase in road rage. But I asked my boyfriend if he experiences an increase in road rage. He said no. And I was like, that's weird because every time I leave my house and every time I come home, I experience road rage. And the irony is, the way the road is set up, I'm always right next to them at a stoplight. And then I'm always, I always look in the window, and, I make it obvious. I look at the person to see, who the hell they are. And it's always some, extremely, angry, demonic person. They're sitting there just man. And it's what in the world? This road is 50 miles per hour just going straight, but I got a Jesus bumper sticker on my car. There's something being revealed in the true nature of people. There's a veil coming off of society. Working with the general public, I see it. There's a veil that's coming off. People are revealing things about themselves that I never saw before. whether it be a type of dominance that is new, that's being asserted. And the opposite, so the opposite is also the same. Like there's also like a gentleness, like because people are alchemically transforming for better or for worse, right? So some people are getting better. So don't get me wrong, some people are definitely getting better. The veil's coming off. Some people are getting better, but then some people are getting worse. And there's a nature being revealed that I didn't see before. That is like, wow, they're gonna take the mark of the beast. Like they're on their way to accepting the mark of the beast. So there's an alchemical transformation happening in society. Now, I've been saying like I can't even work with the public, right? Like I can't do it anymore. So, Brandon, you have a boyfriend? Yeah, I have a Muslim boyfriend. Do you know that? My boyfriend's Muslim. 6 months. Not easy. But it gets easier. So I've been saying how like I can't even work anymore. Like I can't do it. Right? It's not right. I'm literally so famous in outer space. Like I can't be just doing hair for the general public. So I stopped taking new clients. Right? That's a new thing. And then had this long weekend and then a few days working before another long weekend because I make my own schedule. Well, what was it? Monday night or Tuesday morning, I wake up with a shoulder injury. Like excruciating pain. Felt like someone shot me right here in the shoulder. So weird, right? Because I was scheduled to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I've been saying, like, I can't work anymore. I don't want to work anymore. Like, it's not right. I just want to stay home. Like, this is insane. Like, I just can't. It's not even, it's like, I mean, it's safe because we're protected, but, like, being in public as a real militant Christian, like, I'm not lukewarm at all. Like, totally marked for Jesus. Like, demons hate me. And the demonic nature in people is getting harder to conceal. And don't get me wrong, on the same side, the angelic nature of people is obviously highlighted as well, right? So not just to speak to the negative, but speaking to the positive, like the angelic nature in people is really highlighted as well. Like we really see each other as well. And then the general population, there's a nature being revealed about them that is like, they're probably going to take the mark of the beast. Or there's like an NPC, non-player character. Non-player characters is just sort of like filler people. Like who knows where they came from? Like just part of the Matrix. I don't judge people, but there's illnesses, you got to wonder about sometimes. You got to wonder a little bit about side effects of certain choices people are making with medical intervention. You kind of wonder about a little bit. Ozempic, what's up with that? And then people are losing their hair over it. Sloan Bella said it's disconnecting people's connection to God through their gut, right? Because you have a heart brain, you got your brain, and you have a stomach brain. She's suggesting that Ozempic is disconnecting people through the gut brain. They can't use their gut. She's a celebrity psychic. And so I just can't. And Tuesday morning, I wake up with a serious shoulder injury. Like excruciating pain, like somebody shot me in the shoulder. Could not move it. It hurt to sit up, lay down. There's no bruise. No bruise there. It's just weird. Oh, it looks a little red. Maybe because I was touching it. That's so weird, right? I wake up with the most excruciating pain, feeling like someone shot me in the shoulder, and I'm like, crying and wailing out in pain to get up and get out of bed, right? Because I want to go to the mirror and I want to check my shoulder, see what the hell it looks like, and there's no bruise there. And, we're like trying to do the math because I'm like, when did this happen? Because I went to sleep. I made a phone call at 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. and went to sleep after that phone call, right? So I don't think it was something like I got up sleepwalking and, hurt myself. No other bruises. There's no bruise. And I got a nice little shoulder injury that keeps me from work. Like, I can't go to work now, right? So this is yet another week off. It's just so funny. Like, it's just so funny. God's intervention. Abducted by aliens again. Damn it. Who knows? Like, I don't know. But I trust God's plan, right? It's like, nope. Because something is happening this week. There's an alchemical transformation occurring right now. A big one. A huge one. A judgment has come type of alchemical transformation that is happening right now. And so I had this dream. This was last night. And it was a dream. This was not like reality dream. It was a dream. It was abstract. But in the dream, I was in Sears. So this is obviously like after the rapture. It's tribulation time, right? But people are still kind of going about life as normal, but it's getting weirder. Like, society is weird. So in my dream, hold on, honeys. Athena just said I'm hungry. Hold on, honeys. So I'm in this dream, I'm in Sears department store. I don't know the significance, that's weird. But anyways, it was like all the clothing was now super demonic. Like nasty though. Like very, like, I don't know, like Japanese cartoon, demonic, like gamer kind of appearance, like the gamer type, like depictions, super demonic, like on the t-shirts and on the clothing. The clothing was designed for like a different kind of person, right? But that's all there was. It was like all like really demonic looking clothing. And all the people were like, they were still like animated flesh, right? Like buying the clothes and like waiting in line. But if you were near one, they would just start like badgering you. Like, hey, can you get out of the way? Or like, hey, blah, 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 hey, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't respond to hey. Someone in public ever says, hey, or ma'am, I'm like, no. Nope. There's a type of tone that I do not respond to at all, ever. Excuse me, miss. There's a type of tone. Oh, didn't hear you. The audacity. The audacity of people. But it's this sort of like badgering spirit from people who are very demonic and they hate us. All kinds of things. Road rage, sexual advances, staring. Some people may sort of laughing a little bit. For what? Intimidation. This is all day, every day now. Everywhere you go. If you are truly marked and sealed for Christ, I'm militant for Christ. Yeah, it's really painting a contrast to the demonic nature and the sin nature in people. So in the dream, it was like all the clothing was nasty. The people were super weird and mean. In the same dream, the governor, this was Governor Abbott, he had sent a letter out like to everybody. So it wasn't even like email, but perhaps it could have been an email. It doesn't matter. But the governor had sent an email out, or a piece of mail out. Every single person got one. And it was saying something about how, I'm going to put a little banner for this. It was saying something about how these Christians are really holding us back from doing the things that we want to do, right? But in the same letter, he was saying how he had to work with the Christians. Like, oh, we are working with Christians. So the true Christians are the restrainer. We're the ones holding back all the evil that they wish to do. And then once the rapture occurs and the church is removed, right? God pulls his spirit out of the world. Judgment day, you are now in hell. What is hell? It's what this place is about to turn into if you don't turn to Christ. Give your life to Christ. Right? Choose the mother over the whore. Stop entertaining the whore and the cults and the money. You don't have time either. Stop entertaining the time. That's another thing. You don't have time either. So if the little beasts of the world are having their judgment day, right? But they're the perfect angels of the world, therefore they're not necessarily going to get salvation through Christ, right? They're the brother to Christ, the brothering spirit. Then for them, it's more like you choose to nurture the mother, not the whore. Right? You choose to see the sin nature within yourself and you want to work on it. Stop worshiping the time and the money. You don't have any. Imagine as if you don't have any more coming in and you don't have any more time. This is the little beast salvation. It's an alchemical transformation. When it's over, that's judgment. And that's happening right now, and people are acting out, right? There's a huge portion of society acting out, like subtly, but it's happening. And there's a deep evil in this world that would like to be the main thing. But so long as the Christians are here, they're the restrainer. We're holding it back. We're holding back the evil. We're pushing back the evil. But you can still see it. Isn't that crazy? Like, there's so much of it. Like, it's visible, right? Free speech. It's visible. You need to be able to see it. That's a good thing. With the amount of sin and, like, lust and greed and time control, mind control there is, ACL is coming about in October. And the tickets are just $20, right? They used to be like 100 something bucks. Now you get a ticket $25. That's mind control with time control, because you don't have time. You're not gonna have time to go to ACL in October. The shit's gonna hit the fan like this month. You're not going to ACL. If you are, it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be all just dark, nasty evil. Because this place doesn't get any better. Sorry, was that not obvious? Like, did I even have to say that? Do some people really think this place is going to get better? That's not how this works. There's a war in space. You're not supposed to war here. There's a war in the heavens. We're occupying space. God says, I prepared a place for you. All those demons get killed, get sent here, right? They get evicted from where they're at. That's through our alchemical transformation of love, the dualistic nature, we ascend. There's an ascension occurring in space. Space is being occupied by the lighter forces, right? Reoccupying, right? Taking back what's theirs. And then all those demons get sent here. This place turns into hell. No, this place doesn't get better. Why would you want it to? The sun is so uncomfortable. You notice how the sun is like way too strong. It's like badgering. Like the sun is badgering, you know? The general population is badgering. And the sun is badgering. Like everything, it's like I just want to be home all the time. I don't want to go anywhere. Because everything is so badgering, right? Your cults are badgering. And social media, they're just badgering. Blech. I don't know, my algorithm's pretty tight. Because I put up strong boundaries, right? Unfollow thirst accounts. Yes, there are thirst accounts for women. I didn't even realize I was following like some hot Viking dude and some hot Asian dude. But they were like, you know, saying words of wisdom and like pretending they were godly. And then I realized like, oh, these are just like hot dudes. These are thirst accounts for women. Like you think it's just women being insta-hoes? No, there's men insta-hoes. Very sneaky. Unfollow. Want none of it. Want none of it, right? Not like I would fall into the temptation, but just don't want that type of badgering. I follow a lot of weird people because I'm kind of watching their ascension or decline. You know, like that one chick, was it like Natalie and Natasha? No. Shoot. I don't know, there's this one crazy bitch from Love is Blind, and I'm like, she's so horrible. Actually, there's a couple crazy bitches. Jess from the last season actually had to stop following her because she was just like, she's so fucking nasty. I can't. But I'll follow weird people because I want to watch their descension. They're getting worse. They're so bad, and the illusion that there's something good is so big. So yeah, in the dream, government sent everyone a letter saying like these Christians are really holding us back. Like we used to have to like work with the Christians, but so he was telling the whole population that Christians are bad and they're holding us back from doing what we want to do. Right? So then you get the popular vote, obviously, like let's just have nothing to do with the Christians anymore. In the job, I had to, this would never happen, but just as an example, like tribulation, with the mark of the beast, right, you can't get a job. They're not going to allow you to work. Last week, my booking software that I've been using for 7 years asked me for my social security number. Like came up like red flashing action required, and then I clicked on it and it said all it needed was my social security number because it's now the law. They have to have it. And I'm like, well, this is awesome because hopefully I'll put it in and hopefully they'll tell me I'm too divergent and I cannot work. And then I'll just go home. And I'll stay home, which is what I want to do. Which is what God is guiding me to do, one way or another. That happened last week amongst all this weirdness. So many things going on. You know, the whole salon is like, there's like lease agreements being like renegotiated. No one knows what they want to do. And some people want to move and go and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I didn't join the meeting. I really don't have anything to say. I'm just like, don't plan on working that much longer, first of all. And also, like, everything is fine the way it is. People just, I don't know. There's like a spirit of deception in the air right now. That's like, should we be doing something else, right? Should we go on vacation? Should we buy this? Should we go there? Should we do that? Should we acquire these things? No. You have everything you need to do what you want to do. I gotta clean chicken shit off the porch. I'm thinking I need a hose. I need one of those brooms that's long and flat so I can just like scrape it off. What am I thinking? No. I have a watering can, Castile soap, and a regular broom for outdoors. That works just fine. And that's just one small example, but that's like the theme of everything right now. You know? People are like, I think I gotta move to Canada. Like, I think I gotta move. I think I gotta go here and do that. No. You are where God wants you to be. The deception is that you somehow need to be somewhere else, maybe with someone else, doing something else. No. the ego is dying, so it's trying to hold on so bad by saying, like, do we need to open a business? No, you don't. You need to just chill. Just chill. Now is not the time. Because this shit's about to blow. And so I still think that James Casbolt is going to come back as the Antichrist, because I believe the Antichrist is not going to be a man who is stupid. Lucifer was the perfect angel of the world. James Casbolt is a man, Spirit of Michael, that knew better about the world and therefore did not care that much about the world, right? As a working man here, he was an assassin. He killed people for a living, right? And he was like, that's a good thing. But in the world, people are like, oh, that's horrible. Like, you killed people? Protecting a certain type of law and order. He knew better about women. He was the only man I ever heard say, like, women will come around me trying to, like, get me to stop my life of crime and, like, you know, let me help you. And he's like, get away from me. Like, I don't want your help. I want to keep killing people. Thank you. Because not the perfect angel of the world, right? The angel of the Spirit, the right-hand man to God, Michael. So even if it's just sort of someone similar, I don't think the Antichrist is going to be like some dummy, right? Just some like empty void, hollowed out like AI drone for Satan. I don't think so. And so, yeah, you can see in Tinfoil Man, he still has this playlist, Super Soldiers, where you can find some of his old material. But if you wanted to take a listen, this is some of the most, like, if you resonate with me and, like, the stuff I say, like, on this level, you would probably enjoy listening to this older material by James Casbolt. Oh, I was checking out Gridkeeper, and I gotta go back. So I'm not gonna like play it all, but I will tell you the video where he says certain things. So let's see. In this one, he talks about how in the future, this is 007. So in this video, he talks about how in the future, everyone's going to say, Hail Satan, right? So this material came out in like, what, 2011, 2015? I think 2015, 8 years ago. So back then, when you heard it, you were like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. I can't even, like, fathom such a thing, right? Just like the Georgia Guidestones. Back with the Georgia Guidestones, it was like, oh, I can't even fathom. Like, you want to kill 8 billion people? That's so evil, right? Like, that's so horrible. You thought the New World Order was something evil, but now you know better about the rapture, and you're like, oh, because the church not going to be here. This is like a judgment of sorts. Now I'm like, yes, we do need a one world order. We need a one world government. In the future, everyone will say, Hail Satan, because the church won't be here. In this video, he talks about that. So we were shopping at, well, we weren't really shopping for much, but wandering around a Big Lots the other day, and my Turkish boyfriend was like, what's a Big Lots? You know, he's only been here like 7 years. And I'm like, it's kind of in between. It's kind of like less than a Walmart, but more than a Dollar General. It's like in the middle. And I was like, I hadn't been in one in so many years. So we go into Big Lots. And I remember Big Lots as being a store where things were cheap. And we're just like wandering around. And he's like, what the hell? Nothing is cheap. And I was like, I feel like that's kind of the point nowadays because of like the New World Order. Like they want like a one world government, a one world economy. Like what we used to perceive as supposed to be cheap is not cheap anymore. There was a chair in there I kind of wanted, and it was $130. It was just a chair that had upholstery on it, and it was like it had a 29-inch, like it was taller. I want one for the window because the window's a little up high, and it was still like $130 for this upholstered chair, which I think we're conditioned to think like that's not that bad, but like for Big Lots, like that's weird, right? Like they also Big Lots has furniture, right? So explaining what Big Lots is, if you don't know what, it's more than a Dollar General, less than a Walmart, and they have furniture, right? And the furniture is super expensive. So we're wandering around. He's like, what the hell? Why is everything everywhere so expensive now? And I was like, I think it's because of the New World Order, like a one world economy. Like everything is like expensive because like everything everywhere. Like you can't get anything cheaper like anywhere other than maybe Amazon. So yeah, after the rapture, the church is removed or put in safety, right? Judgment occurs and people are sealed and marked with safety with the mark of Christ. In the future, everyone's going to be saying, "Hail Satan." And we used to think this was crazy because we were not educated on the rapture. We were not educated on the removal of the church, the protection of the church. So this is the video where he talks about that. And he doesn't say anything like biblical. Like he doesn't speak. This is like what I'm saying. Like I think James Casbolt's going to appear as the Antichrist. He's never been biblical. If he speaks of the Bible, he speaks of these people who believe certain things about the Bible. And I love him. Best person in the world. So this is a 4-part series. Bases 23. In this one, speaks of the rapture very subtly. We want to see certain people survive. But this whole series of Bases 23 is super packed with just like resonating information, stuff about what's to occur. This is a 4-part series. In this one, Miles, the interviewer, is like, because they're talking about like the education system, how it's so shitty, like it's so bad. And Miles is like, well, how do we change it? And Michael thinks for a second, and he's like, there is no fixing it. Something really big has to happen. So he's the biggest time traveler that, like, if not like the only like true time traveler. Everything that he said that was so crazy is turning out to be true. Like, I used to think it was so crazy that he said in the future, people are going to say, "Hail Satan." And now you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, because that's the tribulation. The church is removed, this place turns into hell. And so, yeah, they're talking about the education system, and he's like, it's just going to take something bigger needs to happen, right? Because he knows it's something bigger is going to happen. Also, in this series, Miles is like, what is the point of doing any of this, right? What's the point of saying any of this, right? Putting any of this material out there, what's the point? And he thinks for a second, and he says, well, I think we want to see certain people survive. Right? They want to see their own kind survive. They want to survive a certain amount of people. So that is the rapture. It's the removal of the church, the protection of the church. The people with true Christ love energy. But he doesn't speak about all love and light. He's not going to give you that. He's going to give you the reality, right? Because Michael, opposite of Lucifer, Michael is not the perfect angel of the world, right? He's the perfect angel of the Spirit as a right-hand man to God who carries wrath. God is full of wrath. Jesus is a proof of God's mercy. And interestingly enough, I mean, the perfect angel of the world is sort of like a restrainer that protects mercy. But a lot of people dislike this figure because he's not the perfect angel of the world, right? This is why he's most likely the Antichrist, like the guy that's going to come back and do all the stuff. And they're going to say, like, oh, he's so evil, right? Because he's not the perfect angel of the world, right? Because the world is not a good place. So when you put it in that context, this is why some people perceive this spirit, Michael, that's speaking, to be like dark. Like people really, when I went into New Age, I went to like 10 conferences with all these ufology people and New Age people, people that knew of him. They really didn't like him, but they could hardly say it. But if you spoke his name, people would freeze. People would go mute. It was the most interesting phenomenon, because I came across this material, like Ada Farhat sent me, like, she's like, based on what you're saying, she's like, you might want to listen to Jade's Casbolt. This was back in 2018. And then I watched like all his material in one day, like 9 hours of content in one day. And I was like, I feel like I've known this person forever. And everything he says, I remember, like an encyclopedia of Michael Prince is in my head, like of everything he ever said and where it is. And I reference it all the time. Like, I never forgot anything he ever said. Similar to Elon Musk, actually. They're like twin brothers, spiritually. And then I would go into interact with all these, witches and goblins, right? Aliens in the ufology. All these people. So weird. So crazy. And they would freak the fuck out if you said his name. So I was like, oh, this is very suspicious, right? This is a phenomenon that's very interesting. So yeah, that's it for today. You can go to Tinfoil Man Super Soldier Playlist. Super Soldier Playlist is where you'll find the stuff. And that's it for today. That's all I had prepared. Let's go to the comments. Does my boyfriend read the Quran? Yeah. He references it as if he wrote it. And then I contrast it to the Bible, and it's an inversion. Need to fish, got a sunburn, hiking, and he caught a brook trout. Yay! How wonderful. Did you eat it? Apricity Casbolt, is Jesus Christ in one of your recently deleted videos? No. He says, I am not Jesus Christ. But the Son becomes the Father. He was Jesus Christ, kept alive, reanimated over and over and over again, ascends to the throne as his Father. The Son becomes the Father. Just like Horus is actually Osiris. It's the same spirit, but one ascends to the throne, ascends, right, goes up, right, becomes the Father. There's a new baby Christ that has been born. So, is not Jesus Christ. That's why he says, I am not Jesus Christ. Because he was Jesus Christ. He ascends as his Father now, and a new Christ is born. Right? Did you think this stuff was going to be all so spacey? Like, it's pretty grounded in reality as well. We here, right? We're not floating in clouds. We're here, regular people, engaging in road rage, trying to avoid road rage. What if God was one of us, right? Just a stranger on the bus. So James Casbolt's daughter says, like, she doesn't know him like this. She's like, this is just my dad. Like, he's just a regular guy. Maybe now things have changed, but several years ago, she was like, are you serious? She's like, I don't know him like that. He's just my dad. Funny, right? Because this world is so inverted. The world is an inversion. So God is like literally a homeless guy on the bench. Meanwhile, these NPCs are in the top of the penthouse with 4,000 square feet to themselves, you know? It's inverted. And the perfect angel of the world is like, no, this is great, right? But the perfect angel not of the world, Michael, comes back to rule with an iron fist, like, well, sorry, I don't know if that's not biblical, but for the tribulation period, comes back as the Antichrist, who is not the perfect angel of the world, right? To destroy the world. There's a demolition. There's a controlled demolition that is divinely ordained by God. Satan and God are the same person at a certain level. Okie dokie. Trying to make his way home. Trying to make his way home, right? To 400 square feet flat. This is the irony of this world. Wait, is it irony? This is the hypocrisy of this world. That's why this world ain't no good place, right? Lucifer trying to be a good angel. This world is not a good place, right? But Michael knows what's up. Saint Michael knows what's up. He is not the perfect angel of the world. No. He come back and destroy this place. He come back and demo the joint, right? He come back and kill people because the world is not a good place. Right? Heaven is like, space is empty of the demons. They're all getting sent here. Alrighty. Well, that's it. You're the right kind of people. Love y'all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll talk to you again really soon.